My book is out and I'm going to blow your mind. We're going to talk about it today. What's going to blow your mind in it? This is going to open doors for you if you let go and consider what I share in Breakthrough Fear and in our video today. It could transform you. Why? Because you create your reality. And I know it doesn't feel like that, but I'm going to explain how that works. I'm also going to tell you that amazing things are happening right now. They're accelerating. I keep talking about this, and I'm going to keep talking about it till you wrap your head around the power you hold and how it can change in an instant. Nothing you're experiencing right now, whether it's fear or situations, there's nothing you cannot change like this. Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. Are you ready to do that? Are you ready? Because I'm going to talk about some things today. World transformation. Why is the world transforming? Because we are. When we shift our mindset, we create everything differently. We're constantly expanding. You never remain in one space, so even if you think you're staying in one space, you are not. Everything's always evolving, changing, expanding. Breakthrough Fear takes you into expansive spaces of oneness, and in the very beginning of the book, I state the principal multiverse statements that if you just read the first few pages and comprehended that, you could shift. Now I have a link, and you can go and check it out, or you can look up Breakthrough Fear. It's on Amazon right now, and of course ebooks and Kindle. So what is that? I want to express to you that there are things that I know, that you can know, and at the end of the book you go into what I call the knowing. It's when you stop asking questions. It's when you stop having to have an opinion. It's when you stop seeing things as one way and you realize it's all ways. It's when you stop having to correct other people because you realize they are correct, because they have equal power to you to choose those thoughts and beliefs. So why are yours more valid than theirs? That's ego. We're stepping out of ego. Not because it's a bad thing. It is a protective system in place when you enter this matrix. This matrix is a very low density one. It allows us to go into the deepest, darkest places that the one can explore. It's not judged, labeled, named. It's nothing. It just is. Can you go into that space? So right now, I want you to think about this. What if you went into the space of observing, and I teach this in Breakthrough Fear is one of my courses. We go into observation. I'm going to talk about that today in the video and help you to do that, to take you into the space that I'm going to discuss. Observation means I don't have to have an opinion of anything. I just view what's going on because the one is in expression. And what I'm seeing is an expression of the one. I'm not going to judge this, because if I judge it, I'm naming good and bad, and I'm saying it's wrong if I say it's bad. How can the one be wrong? You've done things. Is it wrong? Don't you desire love unconditionally? Don't you desire forgiveness? That is what we must extend in order to participate in the higher frequency world that exists right now. It's always been there. It's not something we go into. It's something you personally shift into that already exists. Everything exists right now, in all times, because there is no such thing as time. Everything is one thing happening. That was the message I got years ago, many years ago. Everything is one thing happening, not simultaneously, because that means there's something separate happening. It's all one thing happening. All right, you don't have to wrap your head around this. What's that mean? Everything is connected. Everything interacts. Everything's affected by one another. Your thought is. You are fully responsible for it. You are the creation here on planet Earth that's allowed to do anything you want with your power. And you, as that perfect light being, is exploring density. So you're making mistakes so that you can know them. I get amazing, beautiful students, you might be thinking this way, that want the best for others. What is the best? That's a judgment too. That's ego. I know you're thinking, no, how can that be ego? I want the best for somebody. It's a higher frequency ego. But it's still a control mechanism that says, I think I know what best is. If somebody came here with a terminal illness, they may have come here to be the demonstration to the planet and the reminder that we need to change our toxic environment. People just don't get sick. We're battling this. We're going to cure that. You want to cure things? It starts at the foundation. We stop spraying chemicals. We stop eating garbage. We stop placing our garbage out there. That's how we cure things. It always was perfect in the first place. It requires our action to change that. And we can restore anything. We can restore this whole planet in a pretty quick time. Now, we do have to unwind some of the repercussions, of what we've done, because that's part of our learning experience, that selfishness and individualism and separation doesn't work very well for us. And so we want to go back into that giving, and we realize we're breaking through fear. The fear that I'm not going to have enough, the fear that I will be sick or my family won't be taken care of, the fear that I will be out on the streets. When you break through the fear, the universe opens up for you in ways you could not possibly imagine as a human. And I teach you that in this book. But you have to let go of the preconceived ideas of what the world is and what you are. Because you're still going to be grasping for answers and solutions and labels, and this is how this is. And if you're getting involved in politics, you're taking a side, that's the same thing. Whether it's how the universe works, or if there's aliens, or why somebody's sick, or if it's good or bad, it's all still low density separation. And that is a low frequency. Because when you realize we're one, there can't be a mistake. It's just exploring. I am that. I am. There's no other sentence around that. There's no other explanation. There's not. But, remember, there are no buts on my channel. No buts allowed, except for the spiritual butt kick, which, by the way, is the subtitle of my book. Break Through Fear, Your Spiritual Butt Kick. Why do I say that? Those of you who've been on my channel know why. Because you're so perfect. You are the source. You are an expression of source right now. So that means you are source, which means you're a creator. And within the boundaries that you created, they're self-limited so that you could play the game. You got to abide by the rules. You can't play Monopoly, start dealing cards in Monopoly, and say, oh, I have a royal flush. We're playing Monopoly. That's all it is. Doesn't mean there isn't a card game going on over there, but you're playing Monopoly. So stick with the rules. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. You can't win. We want to win. What's winning? Going back to singularity, oneness, love, total acceptance, the knowing. And that means that everyone, you realize, is equally perfect, no matter what they do. This is tough. I know ego says there's right, wrong. It's a game. It's a effing game, my friend. And it's very real to us, but it has purpose. And I know it doesn't seem like it, because some things are going on that are so horrific, but that's not who they are. That's not the essence of what you're seeing. It's not the essence of the person being abused or the abuser. It's the exploration of other aspects of itself to know that. And those players did agree to it. And everyone can change their decisions along the way. So when you volunteered to be in a situation that's very unpleasant, you know that you did your maybe not, did your best. You had decisions you could make, choices, to help change that other person's decision. This is why you're so important. Through our light and love and non-judgment and unconditional love, just go into compassion. If you can't love, it's not the kind of love I'm talking about, your spouse. I'm talking about unconditional love, that is another light being in pain and hurting, and whatever they're doing, I got to step back from the judgment of that, because I'll take myself into separation, and I'm not going into unconditional compassion. And when I go into unconditional compassion and love, I now change them in the positive way that I was saying as the ego needs to change. So you're doing it in a way that allows them the choice and to experience what they're supposed to, that the ego says is wrong. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be sick. You shouldn't whatever. Get in line. Shut your pie hole. The ego names it differently. When you go into enlightenment, you see it completely different. You see it as exactly the way it's supposed to, and you stop trying to understand why anyone would go through those situations, why anyone would continue to battle this great awakening that's happening on the planet. What are they threatened by? The ego is threatened in the material world. They're on low density. We can affect them by offering solutions, light, and love, and changing how we live instead of complaining. Oh, talk to the hand, man. You want to argue politics. I'm not your girl. I don't even know anything about them. It takes big kahunas to be a light being and run for office. It's just not going to work most of the time, because the components of those institutions are in such a low level that a light being wouldn't want to participate in it. Now, we have people who have infiltrated that. They're in there, a lot of them, yeah. But it has to be done in a way that does not infringe on free will. And I know that's tough for you. Why don't we just go in and take over? That's ego again. No respect for the decisions others are making. I know this isn't easy. It has to be a personal choice. When you accept that, then you will step back, say it doesn't feel good, but I know it has to play out. Does this make sense? Negative judgment. Judgment of any kind. Oh, you're good is a judgment. That means you are separate and better than somebody else. Yeah. So wanting somebody to be happy is your interpretation of happiness. So thank you so much. These are free. I give away a lot of free stuff. A lot of free stuff. This is my email list. If you're not in it, please go sign up for free inspiration. For free inspiration, free webinars, free meditations. I have all kinds of cool stuff for you. So you can sign up here. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.